Welcome to my channel and welcome back to the Flow of Life Tarot. If you've been here before, you'll notice this is a space, a place of meditation, a moment to pause, reflect, take a breath. So I invite you now to take a deep breath, bring yourself fully here in the present moment, feel yourself fully grounded within your body, becoming aware of your breath. Whatever you've been doing, wherever you are, you're here now, allowing this moment to be fully present. Today we are going to do a special read. It's the Jupiter Cazimi. This is Jupiter conjunct Sun at 3 degrees in Cancer. This is a moment of good blessings, good fortune and abundance. So we're going to get messages from the Sun, from Jupiter, and from the energy of this Cazimi that they are creating together. Today's June 24th, recording on the day of the Cazimi. And whenever you find this video, you can tap into the energies of this day, especially, and carry that good luck forward into your life. So we're going to begin with the Mystical Shaman Oracle deck. And we're going to get 3 cards, one from the Sun, if we may. Of course, these messages are intended for your highest good and greatest well-being. Take what resonates and leave the rest. Thank you. Okay, I'm going to cut the deck. Just tapping in, it's such big energy, tapping into the Sun right now, asking for 1 card for a message for our highest good and greatest well-being. And of course, it's such an expansive presence that 1 card, yeah. Let's see if we can just get 1 card to start with from the Sun. From the heart of the highest divine expression, beautiful solar radiance that is the centre of our solar system and provides us with our light and nourishment, acknowledging and giving thanks and gratitude to the Sun. There we go. I was just thinking, whilst shuffling, you've got to come correct or not at all. Of course, Sun also represents the Leo energy that we have in our astrological system, which is this warm, radiant, generous heart. But you don't approach a lion from behind, so and you certainly don't surprise a lion, so you have to come straight. So making sure that we express our gratitude and honour and appreciation to our solar body. That's why I think the sacrifice came out quite interestingly. Thinking about the heat, the highest heat at the end of the summer when the grasses turn brown and flowers begin to wilt. There is this burning process, this burning away, when things are at their absolute peak and the highest heat. And of course that is a sacrifice. We have master number 44. This is very interesting energy from the Sun. Thank you. If we may, offering our appreciation and gratitude and thanks to Jupiter, the expansive heavenly body within our solar system, the heart of Jupiter, the highest divine expression of Jupiter. We ask if we may connect with 1 card today, please. There's a message. Okay, that's Jupiter. And I'm going to ask for 1 more card for this Cazimi today as they meet in Cancer at 3 degrees. Okay, there we go. So from the Sun, we have card 44, Sacrifice. From Jupiter, we have Wild Woman, 62. And third card we have about the Cazimi is the Holy Mountain. And I like that we see what looks like an eclipse of celestial bodies, the Sun and, well, Jupiter being in alignment. And of course, we see these moon phases here as well, as we are also stepping in tomorrow on the 25th of June into the new moon in Cancer. So this is also acknowledging that. So I'm also going to bring a card. This is about the Cazimi, but I'm going to bring actually a fourth card from the moon herself, connecting with her energy with thanks, gratitude, and appreciation. Let me get a card from the moon. Circle, unity. It's certainly something that we need right now. I'm just going to pause. Okay, I'm going to pop that here for the moon as well. It feels like it's saying it's full circle. Let's see what that's about as we get some more cards. Okay, bottom of the deck we have 48, the Sorcerer, overseeing this process. It's a lot of divine masculine and divine feminine energies. Now, okay, we're going to work with the Wandering Star Tarot deck. That wasn't my initial plan. I was going to go with affirmators because it's so fun and irreverent. But this is what we're going with. So the affirmators, no, Wandering Star Tarot. The message of sacrifice coming from our solar body, the Sun. The Magician. Okay, so the Sun is reminding us of our power, of our solar power, of our inner power, of our capacity to manifest and to transmute and to transform. The radiant Sun is reminding us of our own radiant Sun that is within us and that shines brightly, and that we are given all these gifts of alchemy, of power, action and skill to use in this world and make manifest. That's why we're here on this mortal plane, this earthly realm, to embrace all these skills and gifts, to embrace all that is above and below, as within, as without. These messages feel wrapped very much in a jovial, benevolent, loving energy, a lifting from so much seriousness. This, even in the image, she's looking up. There seems to be an upward looking sense of awareness. Interestingly, the eye here isn't sort of in a central place and above. It's sort of being lifted up, and she has a magic wand. And these swirls of purple in the background. I'm getting a real sense of being lifted up and uplifted and upliftment and reminded of our power. It's beautiful. Thank you. And of course, the Sun is also representative in astrology as of our ego self, our ego identity. And the solar plexus in the center of the body is our chakra of power in terms of individual power and will and expressing ourselves in the world, shining radiantly like the sun. Okay, do we have a message from Wild Woman, Jupiter? I love that it's a female energy, a feminine energy. I would associate Jupiter with Zeus, the god of benevolent. I associate Jupiter with jovial and benevolence. And also there's another god that I associate with Jupiter, the god of wine and grapes, whose name escapes me right now. Anyway, there are many. So it's nice to have this feminine energy coming through. Perhaps that's because it is in Cancer. Death. Wow. This is interesting energy for, You know, Jupiter is benevolent and joyful, and seeing death here, there's a transformation and transformative process with the female aspect. Right, okay, this is... So, Cancer, the archetype of the mother. And we have the societally accepted archetype of the mother, which is the good, kind, caring, nurturing mother. And then, of course, we have all the shadow aspects and all other aspects which are not socially acceptable. Obviously, in society, it's a bit sort of like Disney. The nice bits that, you know, the good girl behavior or the good boy behavior are the bits that have been traditionally accepted, and all else has been shoved in the shadow. Whether that's the emancipated, freed, liberated soul expression of oneself, regardless of gender, regardless of age, regardless of culture and upbringing and religious and political ideologies. I feel that in Jupiter's benevolent, expansive way, it's not so much smashing rather than expanding so much that these things are just popping off. They can't be sustained paradigms that have no service, that are no longer in service to the highest good and greatest well-being, are just being expanded to the point where they're unsustainable and therefore transforming. So it's not like a Pluto transformation, which is a deep, dark dive and gritty, or a Neptunian transformation, which is more ethereal and nebulous and will sort of dissolve things. Jupiter, imagine a ball that's being expanded, and there's structures around that ball. Well, Jupiter is expanding so much that these structures they're just falling off, fading away. Whatever they are, they can't sustain their grip because of the expansive energy. They're just no longer coming with us. So from this day forward, so much is falling away. We've had so many big days like this in recent weeks, months, years, big changes. And this is a beautiful, so it's not just a day, oh, good luck. It's not just good luck. This is expanding. The shit can't come with us anymore. That's what's happening. And nothing ever truly dies. All energy, all matter simply transforms. And so whatever has been clinging on and controlling and constricting, it just can't hold on. It can't. It's like trying to hold on to a slippery fish. It can't come with us anymore. Therefore, this is a beautiful, benevolent day of transformation as well. It's full of grace. There's no animosity or clinging or fear or hatred. There's pure expansion, much like the lungs expand when we breathe. And we can actually see her lungs here in the imagery. She's taking a full breath. She's breathing fully and she's moving fully. And we see this freedom. You know, this is making me think of the birds in the background of when there's a solar eclipse and all the animals know and start to move in advance of that. Wow, thank you, Jupiter. Massive. And of course it affirms around the edges. New beginnings, transformation, begin again, endings, change, transformation. Wow, powerful stuff. So how about the actual Cazimi itself? The energy of the sun and Jupiter together at 3 degrees Cancer, holy mountain. And of course the opposite sign of Cancer is Capricorn, and I would see very Capricornian energy with this. So not only is this a powerful impact in the sign of Cancer at this 3 degrees, but then all the cardinal signs. So this will be the cardinal cross with directly opposite Capricorn, and then at 90 degrees either way. I think that must be Aries, right? Aries, Taurus, Aries, Taurus, Jupiter, Cancer. Of course it is. I know that. So wherever you have these signs in your chart, and then wherever you have water signs in your chart at 3 degrees, Pisces, Scorpio, Cancer. And then, of course, that's a softer felt trine, and then sextiles will be sextiles would be Taurus, Virgo, so the power of this Cazimi, this coming together of the Sun and the Jupiter in the same sign at the same degree. which is like the energy of a new moon, and tomorrow is the 25th and we have a new moon. So this is also acknowledging that, which is why we've got this card out for the moon as well in Cancer. But we're going to focus on this right now. So, name the other card. There's several there. Okay. 9 of Wands, yeah. This is acknowledging the battle weary, acknowledging the strife and the struggles of the world, of individuals collectively. In the traditional wider rate Smith deck, he looks wild-eyed and worn out and battle weary, but also still keyed up and ready to fight. Whereas here, she you can see she's bandaged and she still holds the staff, and but her eyes look sad. She is no longer ready to keep battling. I see these roses as, think about the War of the Roses. That's very interesting in English history. If you go back a few hundred years, the well-known War of the Roses is a white. Look that up. There's white and red here as well. That would be interesting for someone. So it's something about these holy wars that seem to go on forever, and we're done with it. We're really done with it, and so is the universe. Our solar system is done with our so-called holy wars and battles, and it's a bit like, really? Come on. Surely you learnt the first few 100,000 years, the first few 100,000 battles, the first few 100,000 lost lives. Surely you're done now. And I like that the words around here are strength, support, and boundaries. So, you know, this is 9 wands. She's holding that one wand, and behind her are the 8 of wands. So the 8 of wands, the card traditionally represents good news and fast good news coming in. So I feel like by standing by her, she's got her one wand, which is the wand of inspiration. I feel there can be only good news coming in, and perhaps a swift ending to something is how it feels in some way or another. That would be very optimistic, but we have Jupiter, right? So, and this isn't just about wishful thinking, although we do have the star up here above her crown. It's grounded, obvious facts. We don't need war. We don't need war. We don't need war. You can't argue with facts. What's that Einstein quote? The universe is infinite, as is human stupidity, but I'm not so sure about the universe. Yeah, that's there are two things that we know to be infinite. That is the universe and human stupidity, and I'm not so sure about the universe. Yeah, check the quote. Einstein always had a good one, didn't he? So maybe get another card for this holy mountain, this Cazimi, this coming together of the sun and Jupiter. I mean, they would come together no matter what. The celestial bodies have their movements. They don't really give a hoot about the humanity of ants scratching around on the earth. They care about life and love and joy and harmony and peace. Yeah, victory. Okay, victory, glory, triumph. That's interesting to have this card up specifically. Again, it's fire, it's wands. I feel like there is going to be a swift victory and a swift ending to certain events. Whether we see that in actuality or whether that plays out behind the scenes. I feel, oh look, bottom of the deck. what did I say? 8 of Wands, good news, travel, good news. So in terms of travel, I feel this is good news in terms of what's been going on in the world. And she has drawn the bow and arrow. Just 2 weeks ago, we had the pink strawberry full moon in Jupiter, which is the archer, and we see this eye here, which is the all-seeing eye, which is the intuitive knowing, the higher knowing. Very powerful messages here. So in terms of the moon, we've got the circle, and I'd actually quite like to draw 2 more cards from the mystical shaman from the moon, because I feel this is a slightly different message. Because tomorrow we have the new moon in Cancer, which means the sun and the moon are at exact degrees in Cancer. Because I'm also seeing the moon card from this deck. Okay, we have the seer. And of course the new moon is a time when, as the sun and the moon are aligned, it is a dark moon. So the sky is darker. If you are a night predator, then that would, and you have night vision, then I'm guessing that might be to your benefit in terms of being hidden by the enemy. So of course we don't have the light of the moon shining at this time, but what we do have is the stars that we can see and other lights that can be seen. So even in the darkest cycle of the moon, there is still vision. And I think this is a jaguar or a puma, or there's an animal here, and I'm sure that they are nocturnal, or certainly very capable of hunting in the night. And of course, it being the seer, I feel this is obviously across all realms and all spectrums, regardless of day and night. Okay, so there is something about this new moon that is illuminating something that could not otherwise be seen, that may normally be hidden by the luminosity of a full or waxing or waning moon. Yeah, because it is a new moon and there is darkness, there is something that we can see much clearer. Middle world. Yeah, perhaps it's a realm that we would not normally have access. And of course that is acknowledged at certain cycles of the moon. There is a thinning of the veil, and this seems to be an acknowledgement of that as well. But this card has a very benevolent, warm, soft, the colours are lovely and light, like a Jupiter energy. I was going to say Jupiterian. I'm not sure if that's even a word. 369, Tesla number, divine number, 4 and 5, it's 9, and here we have 8. So we have 8, 9, 9. That's 18 and 9, obviously. So something about a progression, 8, 9. So moving out of a cycle. So 8 is this cycle, and humanity has been in this cycle of these divine wars. We have another 8 here, and we have another 8 here, and we have 7. So 8, 8, 7. Okay, this is interesting. So there is something about this that is breaking out of, because yes, the magician usually also has this, the symbol 8, the infinity symbol above his head in the traditional Rider-Waite, because it's that alchemical process and that process of transformation. So normally there is this symbol of the 8 on its side here, the infinity. And of course, if it is a cycle that is of no longer value, then it needs to be broken out of, right? How do you break that loop? So this is an acknowledgement of patterns of wars and cycles that humanity, we've got ourselves stuck. And I guess the momentum has still been there and carrying on for some time, which is why we've seen these things continue to go on still, despite so much awareness and also so much of humanity just not wanting these things. It's not even a state of resistance or denial or whatever. Just people don't want this. Truly. So 8, 8, 7. And the 7 is bringing it backwards because it's not a continuation of the 8. It's a stopping it and a breaking it, and it's new patterns to be created. And then here again, this is the acknowledgement of the 8. So we have 8, 8, 8. Sun, Jupiter, Moon, 8. 8, 8, 8. So something about the Lionsgate portal as well. And maybe about last year's Lionsgate portal, because this year is, 2025, which is a 9. Last year was an 8. So that was a very powerful 8, 8 portal. Yeah, I'm hearing yes, there's something about that Lionsgate last year energy. This energy is a moment of benevolent expansion, and where we can be in our hearts, and by focusing on that love in our hearts, by focusing on that benevolence, on our solar power, our inner individual free will, collectively we are also creating this expansion, which is shaking off such patterns that no longer serve our highest good and greatest well-being as a species in this solar system and in this galaxy and in this universe. And for those of us present here who know already how to use and harness their skills in a certain way, definitely this is a time of using those skills and tapping in middle world. I find this quite fascinating because, you know, Jupiter has one of the largest storms on her surface. And you can see that can be seen, you know, without too much technology. It's that big. And we have a swirl here and we have a swirl here. It's like these storms of Jupiter. And it's a reminder of being rooted in our power, in our strength, in our knowing, in our alignment, in our soul's truth. And this beautiful, perfect bubble that's like a water bubble that protects and nourishes. And even the birds are inside this bubble. So it's saying, yes, you are divinely protected, and also acknowledge and focus on that divine protection and draw upon it. We have the sun directly above, and we see another sphere of a planet behind there as well, which I feel is again this alignment of sun, Jupiter, tomorrow, the new moon in Cancer. We have all these sacred numbers coming up. 8, 8, 8, 7, 9, 9. And the bottom of the deck, we have the Andean cross. Now, something that's come up before in meditation with me many years ago was some sort of sense of awareness of, perhaps not all, but at one point in time for souls to incarnate, there were certain portals that had the souls had to move through in order to be incarnate. And one of them was at a temple in what is now referred to as countries within South and Central America. There'll be people that have more information and knowledge about this, but there's something about acknowledging this portal through which incarnation, and likewise, a bit like a birthing canal, that also can draw through fresh, new, wholesome, higher vibrational energies. That message may not really make sense for everyone, but if it does, then you've got it. Right. Okay, and I just took this off underneath was Knight of Pentacles. So it's acknowledgement of slow and steady, but the words here say prosperity, benefits, and investments. So the slow and steady peace wins the race. So not getting tangled up, not getting caught up, not getting riled up. I mean, yes, honouring the flow of your emotions and whatever stories are attached to them, but not getting caught up in them. We don't have to cut things off and deny and gaslight ourselves or get into battle with others. We don't need to fight for peace. It's like a sticky web. You just don't want to get tangled in it, so just don't get tangled in it. It's there, sure, fine, whatever. Cut through it, walk around it, hold compassion. When you fail, hold compassion for yourself and other. Do we have a card from from the moon. It's coming into her full moon. The circle card here. And again, this feels like another portal. So I feel this is saying the collective focus of humanity, the heart-centered focus, and that natural wave and momentum, like with a meditation group or a class or a session, there's these waves of meditation always like a gong vibrating around the world globally, and those waves also have more power and upliftment by this Sun Jupiter alignment, Cazimi, in Cancer. Page of Wands. So the words say good news, communication. She looks strong. She's got her one wand, like I was talking about here. But she looks strong. She's standing in her power. I feel this is a reiteration of good news incoming, and so to be expecting good news. Okay, yeah, this just fell on my lap very slowly and face up, Ace of Cups. And the good news is that, look, she carries the Dove of Peace right on her crown, who carries the branch, the olive branch. Like the bird that went to go and find land from Noah's Ark. Love, relationship beginnings. Love, relationship beginnings. Ace of Cups. A new start, a new peace, a new love, I feel. And it's saying that, but it's just reminding us where we may as well focus our energy and our attention on the love, on the compassion, on the true goodness, the ultimate goodness of, and when I say good, I'm not talking about good or bad, I mean like the ultimate humanity of humanity. And after all, that word humanity used to mean so much, like humankind. It's those qualities and values that are in all of us, no matter how far someone's gone down a certain path, or nothing of any true value is ever lost. Nothing and no one is irredeemable. And knowing these truths, aligning ourselves with these higher truths, is like aligning ourselves with a vibrational gong, a wave that's already been generating a truth that already resides within us, and focusing on that just increases that resonance. We have the power of where we focus our attention, and the magician knows that. We have that power. For anyone who feels honor your feelings, don't believe everything you think. Feelings aren't facts, but they are valid. Connect with your soul and your intuition and your higher self. Okay, and in terms of the seer, so I feel this new moon is about this good news and this connection, this higher divine connection of humanity that is always there, you know. And these are known things. This isn't anything. This isn't new news. Yeah. At the bottom of the deck, got 10 of Swords and 9 of Swords there. I'll take those, they've shown themselves. Okay. This is, and again, an acknowledgement of how powerful this. We've just had 2 major arcanas falling out here. I'm not quite sure if you could see them as they fell. The first one to fall was Judgment. And Judgment Day itself has so many connotations and reverberations. I hear the words are pointing out it's acceptance, 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 awakening, 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 assessment, assessment, assessment. Judgment can be peaceful. I mean, look, she's got butterfly wings behind her. This is the ultimate beautiful transformation. It's not a fun process. And she has the clarion call. I think sometimes people feel that there needs to be fire and brimstone for things to happen. I remember being in Croatia, and it was, I think, just after the late 90s. And obviously a lot have been going on in that part of the world. And talking about humanity, talking about the wars that had been going on and what they'd seen growing up. And I remember discussing about this affirmation or this meditation. And someone said, and about peace coming to this world. And he added this insight, which I am so grateful for, which I added to a blessing or a meditation that I had, and I've always carried with me since then. And yes, you may ask for peace and ask for all these things. But the blessing is, may peace come to this world in a peaceful way. May peace come to this world in a peaceful way. May peace come to this world in a peaceful way. And how else can it be? Peace can only be born through peace. So we have to be the bringers of peace. We have to embody that energy and carry that energy forth and let that radiate and emanate from within us. We have to. So it's our responsibility to clean up whatever inside of ourselves is not at peace. And that's okay. We can do that. We have more power and control to do that than we do anything else. And so we can look within ourselves and see where there is unease and restlessness and abandonment and pain and suffering and torture, and we can look to seek to make peace within ourselves. And then when we can make peace within ourselves, we can make peace within our relationships, whether ones that have long passed or that are present in our lives. And it's a process, and we can hold that process with compassion and peace. And temperance, yes. Guidance, healing, moderation, balance. This seems to be affirming that. I forgot that temperance was here. It's affirming that may peace come to this world in a peaceful way. It's a process. It's a refinement process. And it's one that we learn, much like the magician who learns how to alchemize. So then these that came out, it was the 10 of Wands, burden, demands, overload. The 10 of Swords was showing itself, endings, final closure, sufferings. 9 of Swords, anxiety, worry, sleepless nights. I always see like the burning witch in this deck, which I love. It's so easy to other others and other ourselves. These are old patterns and old paradigms. Old patterns and old paradigms. And I love that this 10 of Swords has the death skull, and we've already got death on the table here. We've got a lot of major arcana. And this is what's, this is what's being looked at. And this is what we're being asked to do even more so. And we have the power and the support. We have the eyes to see. And we have the power and the support of the whole universe. So we can do this. And the biggest struggle you may find may be that battle that is within. And of course, that is the ultimate battle that you can make peace with. And you have the opportunity to do that now with this blessings of the Sun and the Jupiter in alignment at 3 degrees Cancer. And of course, there are many, many, many other layers of messages behind all of this. But for now, may you take this with peace, carry this in your heart, and have a good day, night, evening or afternoon, wherever you are and whatever you're doing and whenever you find this. And thank you for being here and for bringing such a powerful message forward with your energy. Okay, take care.